Hello from the East Coast, the armpit of America, where the good pizza is. You know who I'm talking to. We curse a lot, we care a lot. It's the Garden State, the Jersey Shore. You've seen us, you've heard of us, and we're probably pretty obnoxious to you if I had to guess. Filmed from my very own metropolis, this is Late Nights. I'm your host, Anthony Cassese. And I'm so happy you're here. Let's get into it. What happened to our childhood idols? And who is Nicki Minaj a number one fan of? That's pretty scary for the Latino community. I know what you're thinking. It is pretty scary. I'm pretty scared. But most of all, what is the secret to living a longer life? What is the secret? What is the secret? The number one question that we need to answer today is, what does it take to live to 100 years old and beyond? As defined by my favorite, Susan Pinker. She gave a TED Talk on the secret to living to 100 and beyond. I'm going to share that with you in this episode. We're going to talk about what the heck happened to your idols from growing up, because I was quite surprised myself, to be honest. It got me. But I was surprised even more about the secret to living a longer life. And no, it's not that non-GMO, gluten-free diet and your Brita-water filters. It's none of that, actually. It's not that high Greek freaking yogurt you've been eating, even though a diet's pretty important. It is. Or even that glass of vino you have every night. I dated a girl one time. She said, would you be worried if I had a glass of vino every night? And I thought to myself, I said, self, if somebody asks a question like that, I'm already worried. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you stick around for Late Nights. We've got some great things cooking up. And I'm really excited about it. So you guys should be pretty excited about it. And that's the thing about the East Coast. The armpit of America. You get this solid ecosystem. No, really. I mean, we have density, which is really annoying, right? New York City, New Jersey, we basically live on top of each other. It's like this little ant metropolis. We're in it. We're just burrowing tunnels. But we also have cohesion. We have togetherness. It's so painstakingly annoying. It may even come across as arrogant and ignorant and silly. And people might say, hey, you're being an asshole. But if you're not part of our group, then we don't know you, and then there's a general weariness of it. There is. There's always going to be a general weariness of people we don't know, right? I mean, you don't just welcome somebody you don't know into your home. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe that's something you do. I have no idea. You want to see about density and cohesion? You ever been pulled over by like a New Jersey state trooper? I love our police. I back the police. And I don't want to make it a political thing because it's not. But just count your fucking blessings you get pulled over by a New Jersey state trooper. You're going to get leveled. But if you're local, you stand a chance. You do. Because you meet them on their level. And that's what's most important. That is the most important part. And I love this state of New Jersey. I got to say that. I love New Jersey. And lately I've been thinking a lot about New Jersey because that's where Late Night Studio is, in New Jersey. I love it here. It's crazy. It is. That's why I love it. Because it's crazy. It's crazy because I love it, and I love it because it's crazy. But there is always going to be a general weariness of the other side, the flip side of cohesion. And Susan Pinker talked about that a lot in her TED Talk. And if you haven't already, I talk a lot about togetherness and being by yourself and loving yourself in my newest book, Mixed Feelings. I'm told by my management company if I don't talk about mixed feelings, then, it's not going to be good. And you should go buy a copy or 52. People like to do that for some reason. Every once in a while, I get a notification that somebody bought 50 books. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So in royalties, that equates to like, I don't know, $4.50. People are like, wow, you made a book. You must be rich. Yeah, okay. Link is in the profile. Buy a copy. Support me, because that book, even though written a couple years ago, still means the world to me. And it talks a lot about our growth, and it gives you the anecdotes to life on what it takes to be a little bit more open-minded. And I share real life stories and the things I went through that led me to that. And you know what happens when you get away from the East Coast? Some scary things start to happen. And that's why I bringeth you late nights, because I want you to be aware of what happens when you get away from here. Some weird shit starts happening. I know we do some strange stuff on the East Coast, but it gets even weirder. You get things like this. Oh, golly. I remember this guy. I remember this guy from this. When he was so busy playing this.
Who's big hit? Good evening, ladies. Hey, the bench called. It misses your ass.
The good dad. The know-it-all. The righteous individual. There's nothing more to it. You don't know what you don't know. And now I feel like all I see is a lot of this. Ugh. Headlines, craziness, mockery, exploitation. It doesn't end. It seems like every time somebody gets a voice in this world, they use it in some bizarre and outlandish way, when it's really not that complex, guys. Every problem we have is just so simple. Besides us, we're the most complex of all. We are. And that's why I bringeth you today's episode, because I want you to know just how complex you are. You don't even realize it. It's kind of crazy. And the saying goes, you should never meet your idols. You shouldn't meet your idols, because we put people we love on a pedestal. We do it to a lot of people, but our idols, celebrities, people we've looked up to forever, they don't ever really meet the expectation we have, which is a you problem. You can't help what you expect of people, but you can try to manage it in some really crazy way. If you do make that attempt, good luck. He looks a lot like my boss when I tell him for the 20th time I'm taking PTO. I'm still going on vacation. I'm just letting you know that's what's happening. I don't need your approval. I'm going. I'm going with or without your approval. I will be in Turks and Caicos. See you there. I'm sure a lot of us feel like that. I know I sure do. Sometimes corporate America gets the better of us. I dated a girl one time. Yeah, I dated a girl back in high school many years ago. And I don't like looking at the past, but for all intended purposes, this is probably the same look her ex gave her when she realized that he was gay. Oh, George Lopez. When I was little, I would harass my grandma. I feel bad looking back on it. I would make these crazy faces at grandma. I love grandma. And if you don't know, I'm actually doing a 2-part docuseries about my grandma's house. And the big question I have for that docuseries is, what do you remember from grandma's? We all got a grandparents' house, but grandma's house. We grew up there. We made memories there. We grew together there. We made mistakes there. I got loved there. Okay? And one day grandma looked at me and she said, you keep making those silly faces, your face is going to get stuck like that. Ixo fucto, George Lopez. You're welcome. Crazy Latino. I love the Latinos, by the way, but Crazy Lopez, Crazy Pez, George Lopez, the craziness. Hard week for Nicki Minaj fans. Have you heard? If you haven't heard, she's a #1 fan of who? Who? What are you, an owl? Who? 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 She was seen on stage with our president, Donald Trump. She said, don't worry about the haters. Don't worry about the haters. As you may know, you probably don't know, but the rap community has turned against Nicki Minaj. And, well, now they definitely have turned against Nicki Minaj because she's a #1 fan of Donald Trump. Her words verbatim, look it up, check it out. I'm not making it up. It's not AI. It happened. I'm not going crazy. You're going crazy. It's late nights. Tom Hanks gave a great quote one time in one of my favorite movies, Catch Me If You Can. That's a feature of Leonardo DiCaprio, where he's a young Czech counterfeiter. And he said, you
know why the Yankees always win, Frank?
Because they have Mickey Mantle?
No, it's because the other teams can't stop staring at those damn pinstripes. Watch this.
Quite the analogy. Quite the analogy. And no matter where you come from, it's important. It's indicative of you that you never stop trying to find your pack, find your place, and evolve. Because even though George Lopez has obviously gone off the crazy train, he's not who we remember from our youth. Nicki Minaj may not belong to the rap community anymore. That may be true. Is that such a bad thing? Is that such a bad thing? Who I am today is barely who I was 5 years ago. And I'm sure a lot of people agree with that. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to get better. You're supposed to learn. A lot of people are resistant to that, and it's not such a bad thing that you're not, and you're trying. And if people are hating on you, that's a good sign that you're doing it right. Really, it really is. And I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. Because you're changing and people change is just part of life. I love it, man. I love it. It pisses people off. It gets under people's skin. What's better than getting better? I don't know. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It could look a lot like the East Coast, the armpit of America. It really could. It really could. It could look like Nicki Minaj getting scrutinized for her support of a political candidate. It could look like that. That's not who she was 5 years ago, I'm sure. I don't know. I feel like Nicki was always a big Trump guy. That's just in my professional opinion. But who am I? I'm just another ass with an opinion. That people write checks with their mouths that their ass just can't cash. I'm just another one of those people, and I accept that. That's the thing, man. Where we don't like outsiders, but we love our inner circles. We love our inner circles. And I love New Jersey for that. You see, back in the day, life was really focused on the number one public health risk, which at the time was infectious diseases. Diseases were killing people, and today modern medicine has advanced to unbelievable heights. Thanks to new technology, AI, and all that it does. It's amazing. I think that's great. But now we have a different kind of problem, guys. We have a different kind of problem. It's a big one. One of the number one public health risks today is social isolation. We are confined to our little corners of the world. We don't share much. We don't talk much. We don't do this anymore. We don't ask people how they're doing. Why don't we ask people how we're doing? That's where our roots were. That's where our roots were. And look, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm going to protect people that don't need protecting. Only you can save you. I don't care if you save you. I'm just another guy trying to do my best, which hopefully impacts you in some crazy, weird way. And that's the secret to living to 100 and beyond. Changing, evolving, being with people, and togetherness. Togetherness. To be able to share things together. That's what I love about the East Coast. I love about New Jersey. Yeah, we're kind of crazing up each other's asses, but we have density and we have cohesion, and that's what makes us great. So maybe we got some crazies along the way. And I got so much respect for Susan Pinker for doing that TED Talk. We'll attach it somewhere in today's episode so that you can watch it. But people like George Lopez, people like Nicki Minaj, people like our Trump supporters and non-Trump supporters, whether you like to believe it or not, we're always evolving. We're always changing. We're always getting better. We're always making mistakes. And I think that's probably the most beautiful part about life. Because to live is suffering. And if you're trying, there's a good chance you're failing, which means you're suffering. And that is how you live. And what a beautiful thing to do. Never stop being you. Ever. No matter how crazy it looks around you. I'm Anthony Cassese. This is Late Nights. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and support me along the way. In the next few weeks, we may be having a little appearance, a little interview action, something we've never done before. You don't want to miss it. Till next time. Thank you.